Wow, wow. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2023. Wow. Can you believe that we are here in 2023? And tonight I'm going to talk about what am I improving in 2023? What am I going to change? How do we go about figuring out what we want to change, what we need to change, what we should change? We're going to spend some time talking about that tonight. And I welcome you. If you're new to me, I'm Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage people to take charge of their health, take charge of their life, create the life they've always wanted, and go to the next level. If you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments. I'd love to welcome you. As we do with some music and with a hand clap. Also, if you have questions as we go throughout the night, go ahead and put a Q in front of your questions in the comment with a colon, so I'll know that that's something that I need to pay particularly attention to as we go throughout the night. I'm excited, and gals, I'm excited to be here. If you did not see our New Year's celebration that we had here with Janet Dobbs and Cheryl Wolf, you want to go back and watch that. I think I'm going to, sometime tonight, I'm going to play that clip that I did for one of our, for our social media platforms, so you can see we had a good time. And we were looking back at 2022, looking forward to 2023. And just so glad that you are here. We've got some great things scheduled for us as we go through the year. So you want to make sure that you are here, that you are in place, that you are not missing anything. All right. Make sure that you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the notification so that you'll be notified when we put new comments, when we put new videos, and all the new things that are coming out in 2023. But just glad that you're here. Let's see who we have out there. I think I see some folks. Let's see. What do we got? HDH Network, what's good? What's going on, man? This is my cousin. If you guys remember Osric Brathwaite, who was on with me talking about marketing, right? How to market ourselves, and you know, everything that we do is really marketing. Glad that you're here, man. Blessings in 23. Thank you for that. We've got Dr. Otieno who's here. Hey, Dr. O. He says, hi, Dr. Wood. A very happy new year to you. If you remember, Dr. O was on with us. He was the very first interview that we did in the month of December for Vlogmas. So thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. And then Animal Paradise Communication and Healing. Happy New Year, Janet. Janet, I am still having so much fun from the time that we spent together on the show. So glad that you were here. She says, don't forget to like too. Correct. Yeah. Don't forget to go ahead and give us a thumbs up for this video. And if you are out there, right, we're not streaming to any other platforms right now. So if you're there and you are watching, we want to hear from you, but also go ahead and send this link to anybody on any of the platforms. Tell them to come on over here, because we are going to be having a good time here as we go through the night. Yeah. So 2023, can you believe it, guys? Woo! Jenna says she saw the short. Yes, I'm going to bring that short. I'm going to bring that short up sometime if I can here on actually, I can do it on my phone. That's right. I can do it on my phone. So I'll bring that up so that everybody can see the good time that we had. Actually, I wanted to go ahead and I'm going to do that right now. Let's see, since Jenna's talking about it. Let's see if I have my phone cam. And let's go to our shorts. And there it is. Let's see if I can play it. The things that you came through, there's some. No, not that one. Let's see. So now I'm going to have to go. You guys are going to see all my stuff, but that's okay. Let's go over here and you can see. There it is. Let me turn. Well, it's going to be more than 10.
I know. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I love this. I love this song.
Everybody. Woohoo!
Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, wait, let me get my stuff.
Happy New Year.
My hat's off to you guys.
Nostro. See you next year.
All right, guys. after this run.
All right.
So that's what we did. That's what we did New Year's Eve. So we had a good time. So thank you, Janet, and thank you, Cheryl, for coming through. And then Don, who was on, he's in our group as well. He wasn't on. He was in pajamas. So all right. So as we get into the new year, and everybody, kind of thinks of the new year as a new start, right? A lot of people last month or the month before were kind of getting ready for the new year. Everybody went out, they bought ellipticals and they bought treadmills and they got memberships to different fitness facilities. And, this idea of a New Year's resolution has kind of gotten a bad rap. Okay. And the reason it's gotten a bad rap is because we make these grand pronouncements, and that's a resolution, right? That's what a resolution is. Like here in town, if we have something at our church, right? The mayor, he sends a resolution that today is dedicated as, I'm going to say, Dr. O Day. Right. So we make these resolutions, and there are these big kind of official things that we do, but they don't have any substance behind them a lot of times. You say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. But there's no plan behind it. And so what I want to do tonight is I want to spend some time walking through how do we go about figuring out what things in our lives need to change, and then perhaps coming up with a way that we're going to do that, right? So tonight we're going to spend time coming up with what are the things that we want to change, and we'll come back as we go through the month and we'll talk about, okay, how do we go about doing that now, okay? So what are the things that we want to change? And I want us we're going to use a tool that I call not the amazing, but the Wheel of Life. So I'm going to pop that up here on the screen. It's called the Wheel of Life. And the Wheel of Life is a very simple tool, but it's so powerful. And it's powerful, let me come back here, and because it allows us to really focus on specific things. Right now, if you think about, okay, what am I going to do for the year 2023? I'm going to have to get used to that. Year 2023. Often what happens is we have this kind of pie in the sky thing, right? We got, there's this stuff that we want to do, but we really haven't sat down and decided whether that's the best thing. We got all these things. And so sometimes what happens, we have like 10 or 12 things and we're doing a little bit of each one. And we get to the end of the year and none of them are that much farther along. And so this tool allows us to kind of grade the things that we have, and we'll talk about the different categories here in a minute, and then decide for ourselves. We get to decide, okay, I'm going to work on this, and this, and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's hop back over there. And so right now, what I want you to do is I want you to get a piece of paper, and I want you to get a pen, right, or pencil. They say that men like to write in pencils and for journaling and so forth. And the reason we do that is because we can change it. Right. But I want you to get a piece of paper. I want you to get a pen, and we're going to kind of walk through this together. Now, if you look at the screen, you'll see there on the left-hand side, right over on, if we can see my mouse. Can you see my mouse? Yeah, there we go. You'll see that I've listed several categories, and these are categories that are important in our lives, okay? These are not a complete set of categories. There may be specific things in your life that you want to evaluate, and this tool allows us to do that. Once again, the Wheel of Life, okay? So what we basically do is we list all of the categories that we are interested in adjusting, looking at, evaluating in our lives, and we list them. And then we're going to go and we're going to grade them. And I'll tell you how we grade them there in a minute. So you'll see there business and career, right? So how are things going in the business career? So contributions, that is, how am I doing in my relationship to the world, right? What am I contributing to my community, to my church, to my family, to my friends, right? Finances, how am I doing with my finances? Health and wellness, how is my health? If there are specific things that I have to take care of in my health, am I doing a good job of doing that? Well-being. That's a big one, right? Because now post-COVID, a lot of people are now saying, hey, I need to take care of not just my body, in terms of medical issues, but I want to take care of my mind and my personal growth, my personal development, my interpersonal skills. I want to learn how to become more confident. I want to learn how to speak more confidently. I want, all these things, right? So well-being, personal growth, right? Very much aligned with well-being. So am I doing things to improve myself, right? And that's what I do here on the channel, right? Remember we said that we are educating, we're empowering, and encouraging, right? That educating, empowering part, those things are with the idea of personal growth. Physical environment, right? I'm not even going to show you what my environment looks like right now because I've got to clean it up. I've got to clean it up, right? Because a lot of people, if their environments are not where it needs to be, they feel like they can't do anything. Okay. And you may be someone like that. Recreation. Am I taking time for fun? As a matter of fact, just today, my wife and I were talking about, okay, what are we going to do for fun? What are we going to do for fun here in 2023? Romance, right? Romance. And this is for singles and it's for married folks. Yeah, buddy. Singles and married folks. Sometimes we think of romance for for married. No, everybody. What are you doing in your romantic relationships? How are you taking care of those, right? And then friends. Now, notice that family is up here and friends is down here. And I split those apart, particularly because they were family and friends. And sometimes people have relationships that are not going well in one area but going well in the other, but that's what it is. Okay, so those are theirs. If you have a specific area that you think that you want to include that's not here, go ahead and put that in the chat for me, right? So just put it in the chat and we'll talk about that. Now, anyone, if you're out there and you're watching right now, right, and you're looking at these things, what do you think? What do you think, before we even get into it, what do you think is probably a big one for a lot of people as they get into the new year, right? Go ahead and put that there in the chat. Which one of these? Business and career, contributions, family, finances, health and well-being, personal growth, physical environment, recreation, romance, and friends, right? Which one do you see? Okay. Which one do you think is a big one for a lot of people as they get into 2023? Go ahead and drop that in the chat for me. All right. So here are the rules. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go through each of these areas. We're going to go through each of the different categories, and we're going to grade them from 1 to 10. 1 being, man, this area is not going well at all right now. And 10 being, I'm in nirvana, right? I mean, it's like that area is like so amazing. It's great. I can't get any better, right? So from 1 to 10. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about as we grade this. As you're doing this, I want you to be honest with yourself, right? I want you to be honest with yourself. Now, there may be some areas that somebody else is sitting next to you that you don't want to grade right now. You can grade it later, but I want you to be honest with yourself. You are the one who gets to decide how this area is. Is it doing great, a 10, right? Or is it not going so well, okay? Being honest allows you to really take a good look at what you're going to be doing for the year, okay? And we'll talk about how this is going to benefit us as we go forward. All right, so let's go through. So business and career. So how are you doing in business and career? So what does business and career mean? Business and career means, are you satisfied? Are you where you want to be? Are you where you need to be in this area, right? And so that's the question we're going to be asking for each of these, right? The job that you have, do you like your job? Is it fulfilling to you? Are you doing the things at your job that you think are within your purpose? Are they within your gifting? Are they the things that bring you joy? And in this career, right, this particular job maybe, do I see the potential for advancement? right? So all of those things fit into business and career. And one interesting idea is that I'm told that there are a lot of people over the next 3 to 4 years, 3, 4, 5 years that are going to be changing careers. Yeah, a lot of them. In fact, at the beginning of 2022, so last year, at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, the medical field, right, which is what I'm in terms of physicians, there are about 1,100,000 physicians. There were. And at the beginning of 2022, end of 2021, about 93,000, almost 100,000 physicians changed careers. They left medicine to do other things. And so you may be out there and you're looking at this and you're saying, maybe the career is great, but the specific job that I'm in is not doing so well. Okay, that I'm not happy with that. So the question is, what are we going to put? What are you going to put in that category? So let's hop back over here. So what we're going to do, as I change the number, right? I'm going to change the number, and business and career for me, I'm going to put probably an 8. I'm going to put an 8. Okay, because there are things that I want to do. There are things that I want to look at as I think about myself. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when I get down to the personal growth one, right? Contributions. And this has to do with so many different things. And, sometimes people think of money, right? So am I contributing money? That's a big one, right? So sometimes people contribute to their churches and so forth. But contribution doesn't just mean money, but it is, what are you doing in the community? What are you doing in that space, right? How do you feel that you are working? How do you feel that you are engaging? How do you feel that you're interacting in that space? And let's say, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try not to do like 5s or 6s, because a 6 or 7, sometimes people feel like, oh, it's okay, it's not that bad, I don't have to do anything. So we want to make a decision, right? Is this something that's going well or something that's not going well right now? And this one, I am maybe a 9. Right? And you can right. And some of these are going to be random, right? Because I'm not going to put all my stuff out there, but that's okay. But contribution, I think a 9. I love what I do. I love medicine. I love being in the space where I can help people. So for me, career and contributions are tied together, right? Because what I do and how I contribute to community, and also this YouTube channel, the things I do in the social space. When I go, we're working on some things here for this year to go to different churches and do some events. So all of that for me, not just am I contributing to the community, but it also brings me joy in terms of my career and business. My practice is going well. Our team is amazing. Hey guys, shout out to you all. Okay. So family, and then family, right? So family, what do you think about family? Right. And you're going to, and I'm not going to just do all 9s and 10s here. Right. Cause I want you to see what this chart looks like. Okay. So maybe I'll put a 7. Okay. For family. And family has to do with all the family. Specifically, you can talk about, and you can break this down as well, your family of origin. So that's where you come from, mommy, daddy, brothers, sisters, aunties, cousins, right? And then you can also talk about your nuclear family. So mom, husband, wife, children, and so forth, okay? Finances. Are you where you want to be in terms of finances? Now, finances is an interesting one because people are different in how they approach this. For some people, they say, hey, if I don't have $1 million, then my finances are not going well. But yet there are people who they have $100,000 and they are satisfied with where they are. Okay. And it has to do with how you are interacting with money and how you use money, how you think about money. Right. So whatever your idea of finances is, go ahead and grade that. And let's say maybe we put something lower on this one, right? Let's say a 4. Okay. And you'll see as we make those changes, the wheel, right? We started with all 1s, and now the wheel is changing to reflect the things that we were doing, right? And then health and well-being, that's a big one for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people right now think that they're not doing well in health and well-being. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 3. Personal growth. Oh wow, this is a huge one for me. And I'm going to pop over to this screen. For me in 2022 was amazing growth. All the things that I've learned here on this channel, the things I've learned about being live, the things I've learned about interacting with people, the things I've learned about the equipment that I have around me, the things I've learned about social media, the things I've learned about connecting with people. Right. Last month was amazing because I connected with so many amazing folks that were on the show. Right. And so as they were talking, as I was interacting with them, I got better. I was going to say my personal growth, but I got better. Okay. So how do you think you're doing in terms of personal growth? Are you allowing time for your mind to change? Are you allowing time for personal development? Are you learning time for reading, for listening to podcasts, for for doing a hobby, right? And the hobby thing will come back again, right? So personal growth. How are you doing with personal growth? And once again, I say we're going to stay away from 5, 6s. So I put a 7 there. Okay. Physical environment. Well, right now my physical environment is crazy. So my wife and I were talking. She said, "Hey, are we going to spend some time over the holidays cleaning?" And of course we didn't. So I'm going to put a 3. I'll put a 3 down there. This specific physical environment, right? Because I've got to change. I've got to move some things around, and one day I'm going to hopefully do a behind the scenes so you guys get to see all the stuff that's around me that I'm using. Okay. Physical environment, recreation, fun. Are you having fun? Do you have time in your life for fun? I did, and I'm going to pop up again. Let's see if I can pull up a picture. So over the holidays, and I'm just grabbing my device here. Over the holidays, we went to a place called Ross Bridge, which is amazing. And so we had a good time down there. And I'm trying to find let's see, did I take a picture of so of course all of these are landscape, right? They're not portraits. That's okay. And I'm going to use this one because my wife posted this one on her social media platform. I could use this one. Okay, here we go. All right, so that's us kind of hanging out. You see the Christmas tree. And this was an amazing place, guys, that we went to. Didn't expect it. Thought it would be fun, but didn't quite expect. But it was amazing. So anyway, so back to our wheel. So recreation. Are you allowing time for recreation? And I'm going to say that that's something that I've got to do more of this year. So I'm going to put that as a 7 as well. Romance. Let's assume, and we're going to kind of walk through these now. Let's do an 8. And then friends, I'm gonna say 7. Okay. So now you see that our wheel is all together. So we've gone through and we have looked at each of the different categories. We've graded them. We've given them some numbers from 1 to 10. And we'll come back and we'll talk about what we're going to do there in a minute. All right. So glad that you're there. So if you're there, if you've done something like this before, go ahead and put yes. If you've done something like this before where you sat down and you kind of looked at these different categories, go ahead and put yes. If you did something like this for 2022, as you get to 2023, go ahead and put yes as well. Okay. All right. So once again, thank you for coming through. Thank you for being out there. Let's see. Janet says, you're so funny. And this is really cool. I love behind the scenes. Oh yeah. So that's when my phone. Yeah, you guys got to see all my the stuff on my phone. Yeah, there you go. It happens, right? So I thought I was going to be able to just pop it up, but didn't quite work that way. All right. So if you are out there, please go ahead and like the video, give us a subscribe. Let us know that you are that you're enjoying what we're doing as we look into the year 2023. So what we're doing right now is we're saying, what are we going to change? What are we going to change in 2023? And we've gone through and we've looked at the different categories. You may have some different categories that you've added, right? Some that you've taken out. So if you've done that, go ahead and pop that in the chat for me so I can maybe we can add it to the screen here. All right. So here we are. So this is our list. This is the list of things that we've said that we're going to be working with. Right. These are the things that we're going to be working with. So let's pause there for a minute. We're going to pop over and let's do our amazing wisdom wheel. Maybe let's get back to this one. Here's the behind the scenes. All right. So let's hop over there. And let's get that. And then, okay, here we go. All right. So this is our amazing wisdom, amazing question wheel. I said wisdom wheel. And so you'll see questions there on the screen. If you would like your question to show up on the screen, go ahead and send us your question with your name, and we'll put it on the wheel, and we will give you a shout out. And let's see, I should be able to pop up. Oh, let's see where it is. This one right here, so you can see. So that's our social media. So Dwayne Wood MD, actually down there. And you can find us on LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And also, if you are not on any of those platforms, you can, of course, here on YouTube, you can go ahead and put that in the comments. You can send us a message to dwood, that's DWOODE, so my first initial and last name, at DwayneWoodMD.com. So that's dwood at DwayneWoodMD.com. And we will add your question to the wheel, and we'll give you a shout out. Okay. So here are the rules. We're going to spin the wheel. The wheel is going to land on the question. I am going to answer that question. It's got to be a concise, practical, usable answer. And I've got to do it in 45 seconds. That's right. 45 seconds. So let's go ahead and let's spin the wheel and let's see what we got. Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops, I don't know. All right. So let's see. What do we have? Which diet is better for me, keto or Mediterranean? Diet, keto or Mediterranean? That's an interesting one. Let's see. Which diet is better for me, keto or Mediterranean? Well, let's get 45 seconds on the clock. And I'm constructing this as I talk here. Okay, so here we go. Which diet is better for me, keto or Mediterranean? The diet that's best for you, actually, is the diet that works. All diets work to some extent. And the thing that causes them to either work or not work is how well they fit into your schedule and the types of things you like to do. if you're trying to force yourself into a diet, then it is not going to work. It's not going to work well. So keto or Mediterranean, it depends on which one fits. That's a simple answer. Come back and we'll do some more on diets later on. And I think I did. I think I got it. All right. So I think I got, did I have this? Let me get this off the screen. Yeah. So we're going to do a show. On diets coming up. Okay. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. All right. So let's hop back over, and we are talking about what are the things that we're going to change in 2023, right? What are we changing in 2023? So let's hop back over there. All right. So we went through our wheel, got our categories. We've graded the categories, and you'll see now, if we look at the category, there are some obvious things that jump out. Okay. For example, contributions and business and career seem to be high on the list, along with romance. Okay. So those may be areas, and you can do this of one of several ways, right? We can list these in order based on the grading that we have. So in this case, let's see, the lowest that we have is health and wellness, health and well-being, then finances. No, it's health and well-being. We've got physical. Why don't I do this? Can I do this? Yeah, so health and well-being. Then we've got physical environment. Then we have another 3 there. Well, we have 4, so that's finances. All right, so you can list these out according to their rank, and then we've got several 7s. So we got friends, we've got family, we've got recreation. All right, and then we've got a couple of 8s. So romance and business and career. And then finally, we got contributions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let's see, can you guys see? Oh, can you see all of that? Let's see, actually, let me do this. I'm going to copy this over here. You can see it. There we go. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to just put the number. Let's see. I think I may have to do that. Okay, yeah, on this side. So 3. I think this was a 4. No. 3, 4. And then we had a bunch of 7s. So 7, 7, 7. Romance was an 8. Business and career was an 8. And then contributions was a 9. Okay, so that's where we have. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, and so we can do this one of several ways, right? The first thing to know, though, is if you look at the wheel, you'll see that there may be some things that coincide or are associated with each other, right? Now, look at this, right? Business, contributions, and romance all are high numbers. So the question to ask is, do those seem to go together, right? If I'm happy at work, if I'm happy in the society, if I'm happy in the community, does that mean that I have a better relationship and hence better romance? Okay, so that's the question. Family, friends, and recreation seem to all kind of fall together there in this instance, right? So 7, 7, 7, right? So do those kind of hang out together? So if I'm doing a good job of recreation, does that mean I'm having more time for my family and my friends, right? So you'll see how that goes. But let's look at the list. So the list, we can do one of several things. We can decide, hey, you know what? This contribution, business and finance or romance, these guys are actually doing pretty good. So I'm not going to mess with those right now. I'm going to go and I'm going to work on the things that seem to be lower on the list, right? Health and well-being, physical environment, and finances. We can do it that way, right? And in, let's get this back down. Here we go. And in this instance, right, I would recommend picking one or two. As I said, one or two, and work on that one, and then get to the next. So we'll come back to that, right? So we can say, hey, these are low, so we'll work on the low ones. Or there are people who say, well, those are going to be a little bit more challenging. I'm already doing well in contributions, business and career, and romance. Why don't I work to try to get those better? And notice the word I say better. So the question for you then, and for me as I'm going through this, is what does better look like? So notice it's not just, hey, let me come up with this list of stuff, but what does better look like? So do I do contributions, right? So right now I'm interacting with the community and I'm doing a good job. I'm 9 out of 10. Okay. Do I want to go to a 10? The time that it takes me, the energy that it takes me to get to a 10, is that worth doing that now, or should I work on something else so that the rest of my life becomes more balanced? Okay. And so you get to make the decision. You get to make the decision on how we're going to do that. We'll have some suggestions here in a minute. All right. So going back to our wheel. So health, wellness, the lowest, physical, environment, finances. And then at the top, of course, we've got contributions, business, career, and romance. One of the things to note about the wheel, and the wheel reason it's called a wheel, is that the wheel, right? If the wheel is balanced, you're getting where I'm going with this. If the wheel is balanced, then your life is balanced. Okay, but if you can imagine a wheel where part of the wheel is kind of in, like you got a divot in it, and the wheel is going right. So your life is not going well because there's something that is not functioning well. Okay, and so often, if you're looking at the wheel and there are things like that, 8 and 9s up there, and those are doing well, the question would be, how do I improve the others to get them a little bit higher, right? So that my wheel begins moving more smoothly. So as you're thinking about this year, that is probably where you want to be. Because if some things are way off, like health and wellness and physical environment, right, and finance, if those things are way off, they're going to drain the ones that are 8, 9s, and 10s. And that we don't want to happen. We don't want that to be a drain on the others. And so as we try to make this wheel work more smoothly, it may make sense to go back and say, hey, those ones that are lower, let me work on those. Or even if I'm not going to go to the 3, right, or the 3 or the 4, let me get the 7s up a little higher so that they're closer to 8s and 9s, right? But so my wheel is becoming more uniform. And so the idea behind the wheel of life is to make the wheel uniform, is to build the wheel up so that it is the thing that's going to be carrying you through your life and going to be carrying you through 2023. So what am I going to change in 2023? Those things that allow my wheel to become more uniform. And there are several ways to go about figuring out which one of those things that we want to do. Okay? But the wheel of life is what does it. The wheel of life. And it's called the wheel of life, once again, because it's transporting us. And all the things that are in our lives are attached to it. Right? And like I said, this is a representative number of the things that are there. But people can come up with this one has what? How many things does it have in it? This one has 10, right? You can come up with a wheel that has 30, 40, 50, 60 things, right? I wouldn't recommend doing a wheel like that because it can become overwhelming. I would recommend doing a wheel that has 10, and I would maybe even cut that back a little bit, right? So maybe 8 or 9, so that you are not so overwhelmed. Now, one thing that you want to do, and I want to do as we're creating this wheel, is to look at our lives and see what are those things that are in our lives that are relevant to us. What are things that are relevant to us? This can be done at any age. You can have your child do this, your teen, your young adult, your elderly parents. Right? So if you're a caretaker, what is their perception of where they are? Because this gives you an intuition. It gives you I shouldn't say intuition. It gives you a list, a practical list that you could then look at and decide what to change. And the beauty about this is you can do it here today on January the 2nd. And then at the end of the year, you can do it again, or in the middle of the year. And as you're working on the different areas, right? And I'll tell you what I recommend. Don't wait until December, by the way. You can look at it and say, how am I doing? So it is an actual list. It's a practical piece of data that you have. You have some grading ability, right? So where I am, where am I? You can evaluate to see where you are going to be at a certain point. How have you done? And then you can evaluate at the completion, right? So what I would recommend is do this wheel now, January 2nd. I would look at it again in another month. Right? Make sure you're coming up with the things that you're going to do, right? And so here in this show, we haven't done, okay, what are the steps to improve these different areas? We're going to come back, we're going to talk about that at a different show. Right? But you've come up with the plan. You know what the things are that you need to change. You've constructed a plan, and now you're looking at that plan over the next 30 days to say, okay, hey, how am I doing? And then in 90 days, look at it again. 6 months, look at it again. All right? So what we're doing, you're at 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, 9 months from now, and then, of course, in December. Now, you may find, and this would be beautiful, right? You may find that you picked one of these things. Let's say you picked physical environment. And your physical environment thing that you want to do is, hey, I need to clean my study. I need to clean my studio. And you go and you set a time to do that, and it gets done. And in a month, you look at that and say, okay, yeah, so now my physical environment is up at a 9, 8 or 9. And so then you can move on to the next thing. So not only does this give you a list of things that you want to change, it allows you to track the change, right? It allows you to determine whether you have achieved what you want. And then it gives you the next thing. So you don't have to go searching anymore because it's right there. It's all right there. You get to do that. You get to see it because you created it here with this Wheel of Life. All right. So isn't that beautiful? I love it. Love the Wheel of Life. The other thing, another way to look at this. So we say you can either start on the things that are lowest in the numbers, do that, or you can start at things that are highest in numbers to improve those. You can also decide, you can come up with a list and go through each one and say, okay, I want this one to be a 7. I want that one to be a 9. Right? Because for you, some things may not have to be a 10. Yeah. And you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to say, hey, I don't want that to be a 10. I want it to be an 8. Right? And so you do that. So you come up with, okay, where do I want this to go in terms of these numbers? And then you can decide to do the ones that take the most energy, to take the least energy. That you can break this up and parse it in lots of different ways. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. All right. So that's the wheel of life. As we get into 2023, as we move further into 2023, I want to make sure that this year, everybody, that this year we are not allowing life to happen. We are creating the life. We're going after it. We're hitting it. We're humping, right? It's going to take some energy. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some determination. It's going to take some grit. It's going to take all those things. And let me get rid of this screen here because it's glaring in my eyes. But it's going to take all those things. But you can do it. We can do it. And we are worth it. We're worth the energy that it takes to do that. Yeah. All right. So once again, if you are out there, make sure that you go ahead and give us a thumbs up for this, please, for this video. And if you've not subscribed, go ahead and do so. And let me pop up our social media stuff, so you can go ahead and find us on all of those social media platforms: LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. You can even send us a message. And over here, I am popping over. And let's see if this comes up the way I want it to. We'll see. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So if you've not already done so, also remember we have a free offering. Let's get rid of this guy. We have a free offering that you can do. You hop over to our website, DwayneWoodMD.com, and click there. And there's a free resource that we have that can help you not just going through the wheel of life, but also 7 keys to success, right? Learn how successful people create the life they want. This is it. Create the life they want. That's what we're doing this year. This year, we are creating the life we want. Too often, we allow things to just kind of happen. And, one day goes by, a week goes by, a month goes by. And if we're not careful, 2024, 2024 comes around, and we have not done the things that we want, and not just done the things that we want, but we have not improved because we've been kind of going everywhere, right? We've not been intentional. That's the word I want to use. We've not been intentional about what we do. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So here's a good place actually for us to hop over and do our thought of the day. So our thought of the day is this. What is your thought? A silly question? No, not really. So what is a thought? The thought are those ideas that are in your mind. Your thought is shaped by so many different things. What is your thought? Your thought is your power. Your thought is your understanding. Your thought is the fuel behind your goals. As we are working into this year, our thoughts dictate how the year will go for us. If you've done the exercise, the wheel of life, and you did it, and as you were doing it, you said, hey, yeah, that's not going to work for me. That thought will impact what happens on December 31st of 2023. If you took time to go through and work the wheel of life, and you were honest with yourself as you graded those, then that thought will dictate what happens on December 31st, 2023. Because our thought about something dictates our feeling about something, right? So our understanding of it changes our feeling. Our feeling dictates how we behave, and our behavior dictates our result. So what thought do you have right now? And I'm not talking about whether it's a positive or negative thought. I'm not talking about a thought of, oh, I would like to do such and such, or I want to do such and such. I'm talking about, what is the thought that drives you? What is the thought that you're going to be using to propel you into success in 2023? I want this year to be a year of growth. I want this year to be a year of expansion. I want this year to be a year of improvement for you and for me. And it all begins with the thought. So what is your thought? Take time, and I want you to evaluate that. Evaluate that thought so that you understand whether you need to change it, adjust it, because the thought that you have right now will dictate what happens December 31st, 2023. And let's make sure that we are creating the life that we want, and that we are creating the person that we want to be in 2023. And that's our thought for today. All right. Thank you. That's our thought. So guys, I hope that this was beneficial for you. Go ahead and replay the video, stop it, take notes, do the activity for the wheel, and use it as we go through the year. We're going to come back and talk about more things relating to how we get through 2023 in future shows. So make sure that you come back. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell so that you will know when new and exciting videos, new exciting opportunities, new exciting content comes out. And then go ahead and make sure you find us on those social media platforms, as I said, and we will be putting that short out after midnight sometime tonight. But we want to make sure that you are connecting with us. We love to have you here. Love to know that you are with us. Looks like we've got a guest with us. Stacy G. He says, rode my bike 23 miles this morning, getting it done. Love it, man. Woohoo! Let me give you a hand clap and some music for that. So he said he's getting it done. That is it right there, people. That is what we do. We're getting it done this year. No longer sitting by the sidelines, no longer standing around, no longer allowing things to happen to us, but we are taking hold and we are creating the life we want. And that's what I want for you. This is Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E here in the channel. I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications and go to the next level, creating the life that you've always wanted. Let's see. Got a last message here. Get her done. Get her done. Love it. I love that. And I'm going to, let's see. And that's Janet. Hey, Janet, thanks again for that. And I'm gonna pop back over, and I'm gonna use this video that we did. Let me see if I can find it. Our end to end. I'm gonna end on this one because I really like this song, and I don't have it on my scene, but that's okay. Here we go. Good night, everybody. Hey, Lala. Thanks for coming through. We're just about to go on, but glad that you're here. Been loving your stuff this month, last month, by the way. Great, great. All right. Bye-bye.